Alrighty, let me start the recording and let's go live. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to day 2 of our, and I don't know why it's not going live on Facebook again. And let me just, it's setting up Facebook Live, redirecting to Facebook. So bear with me just a second. Here we go. All right, everything's working. Welcome everyone, day 2 of our 6th series, Neurological Levels and Your Winning Edge. Today, we are all about the soul, and we're gonna go and, no, we're not gonna do a soul train today. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper than that. But if you can, just kind of get into that soul thought, as I am reminding you to get something to write on and something to write with. Turn this thing off because it is a huge distraction, and you wanna be fully and utterly present here, as we are going to give you a lot of information yet again, content rich. So let me start let me share my screen. There we go. And let's go right into it. And one thing that I really want to encourage everyone that is on the Zoom call live, come in a little bit early, be early, not necessarily right at the time, because you get to share your ahas, you get to share how you're implementing what you have learned, and you get to ask questions. We got some great questions this morning, so thank you for participating fully. I'm here with John Kurth, Brigitte Höfele, CEO and owner of the NLP Institute of Atlanta. Yep, exactly, Höfele. And I'm here with John Kurth, author and CEO in his own, grandmaster in his own right. John, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yes, I own my own business, Syntactic Sales Scripting, people how to win more customers with their language they're using. It's all based out of neuro-linguistic programming. I am a NLP Grandmaster in my own right, and I'm the author of this book, What Are Your Words Wearing? So it's a delight and a privilege to be co-teaching these events with Brigitte, who's a Grandmaster in her own right, and to share this powerful, applicable information for the people on the call.
Awesome. Let's dive right into it. Today, it is all about what's the soul of your business. So we did the setup yesterday, and today we're going to go through the neurological levels. Now, we choose to go through the neurological levels starting at the very top. And we're going to start with your purpose, your mission, and your identity. So let's go into the soul. What is the soul of your mission and your purpose? Often when we hear soul and mission and purpose, we think of, you cannot touch it. You cannot, it's not tangible. Now, although it might not be tangible, it is not woohoo, okay? It's a dead serious practical business. And if you don't have soul, then you don't have the customers that are sticking with you. I mean, my husband is a great music fan, and he was a music analyst for many years, and worked with MTV. And you know, you guys all know the godfather of soul music, and he's a big fan of it. Anyone know the godfather of soul music? James Brown, Take Me to the Bridge, right? Think soul and think of how James Brown is bringing that soul out in music. So here in our mission and our purpose is, how are we bringing our soul to our customer? How are we attaching what we stand for and what we want to be known for, that very intangible, and bringing that out? That is a real skill. That is a real deep work that we're doing here. And we're going to go much deeper into it as we continue to bring more information to you. So the soul of your business resides in the big difference that there is the business with soul, and there is the soulless business. Often you find the soulless business, and that is a business, and they're in it for just one thing. And what is that? It's just about the money. Yes, Paula, you and I, it's just about the money. And when you get in touch with that kind of business, you're like, it just doesn't, there's a disconnect. It just doesn't feel right. It's just all about the, sell me something. And that's not sustainable. They're not going to continue to have reoccurring customer relations, or reoccurring customers, or customers that are staying with them. So you and your customers will feel the difference when there is a mission and a purpose attached to a business. Again, think James Brown. It's that intangible going with the soul and take me to the bridge, and having something that is very, very unique, because no one before and after James Brown did anything about take me to the bridge. I mean, that's what he stands for. He is the godfather of soul. So the higher levels of the neurological, let's go back to the pyramid. The higher levels, the purpose, the mission, the identity, the higher levels of this pyramid have a higher influence on your business, and have a deeper meaning in your business. Often when you have this yucky feeling around businesses, they're only looking at the environment, if even. It's also easier to change the lower levels. It's getting harder to change the top levels, the purpose, the mission, the identity. But those are the key purposes, the key elements in your business. That's why we're starting from the top. Yeah, it's harder to change the higher levels. I already said that. So let's go into, what does that really, really mean?
Right, and one quick thing I would like to add, you can have a transactional based business with a lot of soul. Think of Starbucks, whether you love the coffee or dislike the coffee, $5 cups of coffee, they're all about high volume. It's a very high transactional business, yet there's a lot of soul behind it. There's a lot of mission and purpose there. So don't just think, oh, well, I can be a transactional, if I'm a transactional business, I can't have those things. You can. All right, it's because there was coffee shops before Starbucks, and Starbucks changed the dynamic here in the States. There was really no coffee culture here before it. It came after. Let's talk about identity. Identity is more than your business brand. People often interchange the two. It's not. Identity is more than your business brand. Here's an example of some identities. There's a book by Bob Lutz called Car Guys versus Bean Counters: The Battle for the Soul of American Business. Bob Lutz was the former vice chairman of General Motors. So he was concerned about people getting away about the passion of building cars. He called them car guys. There's car gals too. Brigitta's a car gal when it comes to Porsches, right?
Right here.
Yep. Red 911 Targa. She is a car gal through and through. But he's talking about the battle for the soul of an American business. This is identity writ large. Let's talk about another form of identity. Thank you for smoking, Philip Morris. Now, when I worked and lived in Taiwan, I was in the moving business. We were doing corporate moves. And there was going to do an office move for Philip Morris. In the lobby, there were various boxes of cigarettes of the various brands that Philip Morris makes. They were like boxes of candy. They were in the lobby. There was a sign that said, "Thank you for smoking." And the secretary said, "If you want to light up, go ahead, light up." And I'm like, "No, thank you." That is their identity. Their identity is freedom. I can do whatever I want, even if it's going to make me sick. That's the identity. So you can have a very adverse reaction to them, but it's very clear what Philip Morris stands for. So those are two examples of identity. Again, that's how important it is. You have a visceral gut reaction. Car guys versus bean counters, gut reaction on an identity level. Thank you for smoking, gut reaction on an identity level. Let's go on to further about identity. The next slide, if you would, Brigitta, if you've got it. Okay, well, before we get in, let's go to car guys. I don't want to see the Marlboro thing anymore.
Yes, thank you.
So identity, know who you are. Know who you are, know what you stand for, but also know what you are not. It's often easier to start with contrast. What are you not? What will you not do? What will you not sell? Start there. And then you can often move it 180 degrees from what you are not, and you're going to start getting closer to greater clarity on that identity. We take our clients through the neurological levels on some advanced exercises in our other courses on how to get crystal clear on your mission, purpose, and identity. Once you do the hard work there, it doesn't make it's comparatively easier to then affect and impact the other levels. So it's a great place to start with contrast. And I want you to put into the chat box, our chat box declaration: identity is greater than brand. Think of the alligator that's above the period on your keyboard. Identity is greater than brand. It's this type of alligator. Identity is, either you can say identity is greater than brand and type it up, or you can use the mathematical equation, because it's so much more. Identity is so much more than just the brand. Brigitte, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, let's go past this one. So the identity, let's look at identity from an NLP perspective, and what does that mean for your business? Identity is all about who do you want to be recognized? What do you want people to say about you as your business? And that's exactly what John just said. It's not your brand, it's not your logo, it's not your tagline. It is really your what kind of feeling do people have around your business? I'll give you a really good example. One of our participants that is on this 6 series, and that was on the last one as well. I've been working with her for many years, and she came from $1.2 million in debt, and the month has not ended yet, but she's at $60,000 right now per month, $60,000 per month. And when I asked her, when we started working together, and I asked her, what does you want to stand for? She was very worried about the competition, because there's a lot of competition in the field that she's in. And I said, tell me more about you, and what do you hear your key clients tell me about you? And she says, well, they like that I'm really reliable, that I'm very, very fast, I'm always kind, I'm always positive, I'm always coming from a can-do spirit. And so we started writing that down, and we created, that is her purpose. That is her identity of her business. And that is part of who she is. That is part of who she is in her being. That is part of who she be in her being, right? That is your identity. So really think about, what is it that you want to stand for? So there are a few key questions to discover your mission, your purpose, and your identity. And there's so many powerful questions. I'm not going to go through all of them. Just know that we take our clients through an array of very powerful questions within this neurological levels process. We just don't have time to cover them all today, and we'll cover them in our future programs with you. So number one on the mission and purpose question is, who is your organization serving? And even more important, who are you in the community? Are you good community stewards? Are you creating a win-win-win? A win-win-win. Often you'll have companies that only do a win. Are you creating a win-win-win scenario? So the question is, for the mission and purpose, who's your organization serving? The identity question is, how does the organization see itself? And how are you being viewed from the outside? And is that incongruent? Is that congruent? Is that in alignment? We talked about that yesterday. So really, how is the organization seeing itself, and how is it viewed from the outside, and does it align? If it doesn't align, that's great feedback for you to do some work there. Okay, so right now in the chat box, declare yourself, I live my purpose. That is a great, strong declaration. Right now in the chat box, declare it, I live my purpose. If you're watching on Facebook Live, go ahead and bring that in the chat box itself. I live my purpose. I know with my brand, I live my purpose. I live my vision. I live my identity. So I live my purpose declarations. I see those declarations coming in. So happy and proud for you guys. John, over to you.
And one thing, it's important, once you have more of those in alignment of the neurological levels, you have more energy. There is less friction. It is called the energy of release. You're releasing a lot of excess baggage, so you have more energy to go forward. And it resonates with your customers. They can feel it. They can definitely feel it. So some additional comments on the neurological levels is the gap. We're talking about minding the gap. The gap between how the customers see the business and how the employees see the business, that gap can be huge. Oftentimes in a business, it's like this bubble, and they're only selectively filtering what they want to hear that reinforces how they think they see themselves. But the reality can be quite different from that. And that's essential, is to have that. You need to do the hard work and find out about the gaps and how to close the gaps. Because if there's a significant gap between how the employees view themselves and the company and how their customers view it, the customer's perception is going to win out. Perception is reality. So as a business leader, if there are those gaps, it is your responsibility to start closing them. Because when push comes to shove and we've had a lot of stress, the customer's perception is going to win out. Key thing on just recently, like Bank of America and Wells Fargo, they said basically to the businesses trying to get loans, look, you're on your own. That was a massive disconnect and a massive damage to their brand. So as a leader, you got to find the gaps and close them. Brigitte, over to you.
Awesome. So this concludes for today, and we are going to go into yet another great series tomorrow as we're discussing what's the heart of your business. Within this series, within these 6 series, and we've done number 1 yesterday, number 2 we're about to wrap up today, we're going into what's the heart of your business tomorrow, and then we're going to go through the head and also the hand of your business. This is not just a nice convention that we're using to organize our talks. This is so much deeper, and it is a real thing. Your business is not there just to make money. You're going through the processes of the soul, the purpose, the mission, the identity, and then tomorrow we're going to the heart levels, and then we're going to continue on from there. So we're actually giving you some really good rapid formats that are essential for your business building, that are essential for your life. And you know what? Use them, apply them, be there early tomorrow morning again. We're going to start at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Be on a little bit early. You never know if you get some time with John and myself. This is a great time. Thank you again for being on today. We're going to share the recording with you as you have signed up for the Zoom. John, thank you for being on as always. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and want to make sure that everyone is going to be on again tomorrow as we're going through those neurological levels. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye.